Okay, good morning. Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Dopey looking hat on. I am going to take a minute here because it is not raining right now, but it's been it's spitting right now, but it's not raining real hard. But it has been rained all day yesterday, the night before, all night last night, and it's supposed to rain until Sunday, right? Lots of water coming down. It's causing some real problems for some of the corn farmers around here, for sure. But I want to just talk a little bit about grazing, and when you have extreme rain like this, what does it mean for the grazer? And it usually happens this time of the year. And it's something, if you're going to do this, you need to consider, because it's not just your cows that you're considering here and keeping them fed. You have to consider the other organism that's involved here, and that is the field. You know, if we run the cows out here when it's really, really wet, they're gonna do this to the field. I got an example right here. See that? Now this is the corridor that goes around the hayfield, right? This is the corridor. So I can't cut that anyway. I can't even begin to cut that. This is the hayfield, and we're keeping them off of the hayfield. But this corridor right here, they're going to walk in a single line going out to the next paddock that I open up for them. And if it's really bad, they can do a lot of damage in here. So, I know that I'm going to have rain tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. I want them out today on a really, really good paddock before it gets super wet. And I drove out here and I'm looking it over. It's wet now, but it's not falling apart. But it will in a couple of days if we keep getting this rain. Okay? So you have to consider that. Now, when I've got the hay off this, I've taken the second cut off of this, and this will be getting near fall or late summer. Same goes. You know, I am going to be turning them in on here, but I'm not going to do that until I've gotten my second cutting off of here. And this top field has a lot of sand under it, so it will come apart pretty easy too. And I just figure if I make this video, maybe somebody won't have to go through that. That's why it's always a good idea to keep back a few round bales for in the summertime, or several, because if I had them today, honestly, I would be working in the shop and I would have round bales up there in their corral and they could just eat hay today. It won't hurt them to eat hay for a few days. It won't hurt them at all. But I don't have a whole lot, and I'm thinking that we're going to have more rain down the line, so I can get them out today, so I'm gonna. So I have a paddock over there that I'm gonna open up for them. It's in an area where if they do damage, it's not going to hurt my feelings too much. Now, there is something else you can do here. Every situation like this that's tough, if you think creatively, you can make things work for you. The field that I'm putting them on over there is actually the junk pile. So over the years, it's where we've put stuff that we don't want at the house, but we don't want to take to the scrapyard. We might need it later. So it's good stuff. But there's good grass that goes in there too, but I definitely can't cut it. There's way too much stuff in there. There's way too much, it's real rough and it's kind of wet. It's very wet, actually. So right here I have a bag of seeds. My wife is one of those people that buys lots of seeds every spring, and some of these package of seeds that I just opened up were from 2009, and they had not been opened. And I suppose I could plant them, but I don't really want to risk it. But I've mixed them all together, so there's everything in here from arugula to Zendalias, right? A to Z, right? Everything in between, all kinds of stuff. So just for fun, I'm going to scatter this in high traffic areas where I know that they will push it down in, and like that field over there, it's not going to hurt it if a bunch of cucumbers come up, or a bunch of pumpkins, or azaleas or arugula or anything. It's not going to hurt. And I'm going to be able to put this stuff to good use and, you know, have some fun along the way. Now, there is another way to do this, but I'm opting for this method today. Where it's so wet and where they're going to push into the ground a little bit, a lot of this stuff will germinate. Even though it's old, it will germinate. Done this before. But another way to do it that I'm going to start here real quick is I've got some seed that I've purchased just for this, and they're very, very small seeds, and I'm going to take a piece of bread and push that bread down into the seeds, and it'll take just enough seeds into those little holes, and then I can squish it up, and then I can feed it to a cow. It'll go down into their gut. A lot of the seeds will make it through them. Not all of them, but enough. And then I know that those seeds are going to get plopped out on the ground in a near perfect environment for them to take off. All right, so I'm going to be doing that too. And that's a lot of fun, because then you can go out and you can just look around at the cow flops and just, whoa, I wonder what that's coming out of there, you know. And not that we're going to pick it out and eat it or anything like that, but it's fun. If you want to start some more alfalfa going in the field, if you want to start some more bird's foot trefoil going in the field, you can do it, and it will definitely work. I can turn this around and show you, not that I did it in this field, but, and you may be able to see it, I can pick them out, but there's high spots, and they're darker, and the grasses are 3 to 6 inches higher than the rest of the grasses out here. Can you see those? Well, those are definitely from when we grazed this last fall. Those, if we went and look at those closely, we will see the remnant of a cow flop right there. So, and it's a gain. I mean, it's a real good gain to do this. If I want something else to start to grow out here, I can do it. And it's not a bad idea to have little pockets of different types of things growing. Not a bad idea at all. Especially in the grazing mode, where every mouthful that they bite, and it goes from the ground to the mouth, and then from the rear end to the ground, it's a cycle that I don't have to be involved in. And it requires no diesel fuel, it requires no equipment, no man hours. It's all just happening. And like on a day like today, those beef cows will gain a couple of pounds today on just what they're grazing. And my milk cows, you know, gallons and gallons and gallons of milk that we're not paying anything for. I am not feeding them on a day like today. So they're going to self-harvest, and while they're harvesting, they're going to be planting at the same time. So it's a win-win for the grazer. Okay, Mark Baker's Green Acres. Anyone can farm.